Most of us live a double life online. We keep our polished, professional selves on platforms like LinkedIn and save our raw opinions, niche hobbies, and anonymous complaints for Reddit or obscure forums. For decades, we relied on a concept called practical obscurity. This was the assumption that while our disparate data points were public, they were simply too scattered across the internet to ever link back to us. Identifying an anonymous forum user used to mean manually correlating specific timestamps, location mentions, and unique syntax across multiple platforms. The sheer friction and cost of that human labor provided a sense of security. But that safety was a mirage. We were never invisible. We were just hiding behind the fact that nobody had the time to look for us. A 2026 study out of ETH Zurich dismantled that protection. Researchers demonstrated that large language models, the architecture behind tools like ChatGPT, can now seamlessly stitch those fragmented online personas back into a single human identity. Past privacy attacks required technical leaks or highly structured databases to work. This new method bypasses those requirements. It feeds entirely on the raw, unstructured text that ordinary people write every day. In one experiment, the researchers took a single Reddit user's post history and split it in half, creating two entirely separate accounts. By reading the casual comments in both profiles, the AI successfully linked them to the exact same person. What was once a grueling task for a human detective is now an automated industrial-scale capability that runs in minutes. The researchers achieved this using a four-step methodology they built to automate de-anonymization, called the ESRC pipeline: extract, search, reason, and calibrate. First, the AI scans anonymous posts, isolating micro-data traits like regional slang. Next is search. It translates these traits into a semantic embedding, scanning massive databases of known profiles for a match. This step takes a pool of millions of potential suspects and instantly filters them down to a highly concentrated shortlist of likely candidates. Your casual internet comments are a searchable digital fingerprint, allowing a machine to narrow the entire globe down to a handful of targets in milliseconds. Third is reason. The AI evaluates behavioral alignment between profiles, checking intersecting timelines to weed out false positives. Finally, in calibrate, it assigns a mathematical confidence score to the match. In tests linking Hacker News accounts to LinkedIn, the system achieved up to 68% recall at 90% precision, meaning it identified the majority of targets with very few false identifications. The pipeline executes rigorous, verifiable logic to decisively strip away a user's pseudonym. Historically, large-scale privacy attacks relied on rigid, highly structured datasets. In 2008, researchers famously matched anonymized Netflix ratings to public IMDb profiles using exact dates and star ratings. Because modern AI can process messy, unstructured text, an attacker no longer needs a database of ratings or timestamps. They can target almost anyone across any platform for a few cents per person. Targeted unmasking used to be the domain of skilled obsessives. Now, doxing is an automatable workflow. By removing the financial and technical friction, AI turns de-anonymization into a cheap reconnaissance tool for mass social engineering and targeted scams. This creates an immediate threat for whistleblowers, political dissidents, and victims of abuse who rely on the separation of their digital identities to speak safely online. Today, expressing an opinion under a pseudonym inherently leaves a trail. Each post acts as a signal that an adversary can trivially correlate back to your real-world identity. Participating anonymously on the internet is no longer a default right. It is a fragile privilege, one that requires extreme compartmentalization of your data to maintain. Because machines now possess the capability to automatically correlate fragmented digital signals into verified identities, society must rewrite its data policies before the protective shadow of the internet disappears entirely.